What is the fear of the Lord? Here's what the fear of the Lord is not. It's not that you be scared of God. The fear of the Lord is the start of wisdom. You see, the fear of the Lord has been stated many times in Proverbs. And we're going to go through a couple of Proverbs where it talks about the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord in Proverbs 1:7 says, the fear of the Lord is the foundation of true knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and discipline. So the fear of the Lord is to go into the word of the Lord for true knowledge, that you do not go in your and lean on your own understanding, right? But on every word that would come from the mouth of God, as Psalm 119 would tell us. So you see, the fear of the Lord is the start of wisdom. The fear of the Lord is discipline, not asceticism or whatever that word is, where you are disciplined in the way of world and self-reliance and all of these things. But it is about disciplining yourself according to the way in which God says to be disciplined. You see, the fear of the Lord is Proverbs 9:10, where it says the fear of the Lord is the foundation of wisdom. So fearing God according to his true knowledge rather than your truths, his truths over your truths, is the fear of the Lord. And that's the foundation of true wisdom. He says it's having knowledge of the Holy One, which results in good judgment. When you have knowledge of God and his ways and his truths and his statutes, you will have good judgment. You will have good judgment about how to be and how not to be in this world. See, the fear of the Lord is also this, Proverbs 14:27. The fear of the Lord is a life-giving foundation. It offers escape from the snares of death. What is the snares of death? Sin. Escape from the snares of death. Because, hey, I don't want to be on the side of judgment, but I would want to be on the side of not being judged for my deeds. So therefore, whatever escape the Lord provides, I will take it. That is the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is Proverbs 15:33. Fear the Lord. The fear of the Lord teaches about wisdom, humility, which precedes honor. So humility is a fear of the Lord. And humility is the opposite of pride. Right? Is the opposite of pride. And so when we have wisdom concerning the knowledge of truth, the way of the Lord, the knowledge of the Holy One, we will walk in the manner of humility as he was humble. Right? The fear of the Lord is Proverbs 19:23, that the fear of the Lord leads to life, because the fear of the Lord keeps us on the narrow path which leads to life, the narrow path which leads to the way in which he shepherds us. And that brings security, knowing that, hey, I'm on the narrow path, and therefore the Lord will take me in the end. Hey, I'm in protection from harm on the narrow path. Fear of the Lord in Proverbs 22:4 is true humility, because there's false humility as well, True humility. So we must understand what true humility means. Because the true humility and the fear of the Lord brings or leads to, it says, riches, honor, and long life. Riches, honor, and long life. to have humility and fear of the Lord. Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Lord also is this: all who fears the Lord hates evil and loves justice. Hates evil. Therefore, you must hate pride, arrogance, corruption, and perverse speech. So the way in which we even speak, in the manner in which we carry ourselves and speak, this is what the Lord says: let no perverse talk comes from your mouth. Let no cursed talk come from our mouth. Let no haughty talk come from our mouth. I really think the fear of the Lord is the fear that without Him, I can't make it for anything. I can't make it for salvation, for it is all His doing. I can't make it to defeat sin, for victory over sin was by Him. I need Him for that. I can't make it in relationships, because the foundation of all of that is the Lord who made these things possible. I can't make it to love right, because He's my teacher. I can't make it to walk in the will of God without Jesus. He, being taken by Him is what opens that door for my understanding, to have insight into what that will is. And when we are on the narrow path, we are going to be walking in the will of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is that, am I doing life according to His ways, His statute, His word? Or am I doing life according to the philosophies of the world, according to leaning on my own understanding, my heart, trust your heart, these things? Or, it's the fear of, am I on the narrow path that leads to life? The fear of the Lord is about holding God in awe. Look at how John and Moses and Daniel and others, when the Lord exposed His glory in a glimpse to them, they did not see themselves fit to be able to look at the Lord, that they would prostrate. John says, I fall as though dead, because they're in awe of His perfection. His power is grandeur. Am I in awe of the Lord, holding Him in His mighty, majestic view, sovereign view? The fear of the Lord is about having a deep reverence for God, giving Him devotion, the devotion He deserves, my time, my energy, my desires, my passions. It's about honoring Him all throughout my life, in every way, in every aspect of my life. The fear of the Lord is about hating what He hates, evil. It's about actively turning away from sin. It's about actively pursuing obedience. It's about humility. The fear of the Lord is about having a complete dependence on the Lord for everything, for provision, for health, for wealth, for everything. For everything is from Him, everything is for Him. I own nothing, He has it all. That is the fear of the Lord.